It was exciting. It was something new. It was something that I would say, yes, I looked forward to it. Something, yeah, a new chapter, let's call it. And then you get here and the cultural shocks start hitting quite quickly.
Yeah.
They start hitting quite quickly.
Today, I am talking to a phenomenal woman. She's going to tell us her journey living abroad. She's been here much longer than I have, so please stay with us, because any advice she gives, it overrides anything I've ever said here in this channel, because she's a phenomenal one. She's the legend. Karibu tuseme mama yao, like she's the one. And you will know why I'm saying this. You will understand why I'm saying this. So stay with us. If you haven't subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. And if this video resonates with you, please like and please share in the comments what else you would like to hear from us or from her. So I will let her introduce herself. She'll tell us her name, what she does, how long she's been here. So, Judy.
Hi, well, my name is Judy. Yeah, we'll keep it at Judy for now. I have been here for almost 20 years. So that is a long time. Yeah, and I have lived in Wales for almost 17 of those 20 years. So it has
Amazing.
been an interesting journey. Interesting journey. So I am excited, eager to hear what questions there are and what answers, insight I can give. Well, nothing is ever cast in stone. So, and life is different for everybody, but I will give you my experiences, my insights, and maybe some lessons learned along the way.
Yes. So we're really looking forward to hearing the 20 years experience and just gleaning from all that wisdom. So tell us a bit about your journey. How did you end up coming to the UK? Was it something you planned? Did it surprise you? Like, how was that journey of moving from Kenya to the UK?
Moving here was kind of planned. It was a planned relocation with my husband and the two sons. At that time, they were 8 and 5. Yeah, it was a planned relocation. So yeah, we sold everything in Kenya, packed our bags, and yeah, found ourselves in the UK. I came here, well, of course, you come here with thinking all the grand plans, all the things that are
Yes,
possible,
yes,
everything that you can possibly do and
yes.
get done. Yeah. So, where do I go from there?
Did
Uh,
you find the land flowing with milk and honey?
the land was flowing with milk and honey. But for who is the question? It does flow with milk and honey. For who is the question? And
Yeah.
whether you are in a position to enjoy the milk and honey. So yeah, like every movement, whether it is a big one or a small one, it was exciting. It was something new. It was something that I would say, yes, I looked forward to it. Something, yeah, a new chapter, let's call it. And then you get here and the cultural shocks start hitting quite quickly.
Yeah.
They start hitting quite quickly. And like they always say, you move and you want to do all these things, you want to accomplish all these things. And so the moment we landed, I was like, oh, get a job. Can I get a job? What job can I get? I want to work. I want to make these pounds. How can I make these pounds? Forgetting that I have a 5-year-old and an 8-year-old and I don't have childcare. That was the first one. So as much as they were in school, there was that the time they're in school, which from here is 9 to 3. What can you do? What can you do? So that was one of the first shockers. We settled down. I managed to get a retail job, did that for a few years and managed to fit it around the kids and the house. So I was lucky in that sense because there's a lot of people who come here and really can't find a footing for a long time, and I really have to accept
Yeah.
that I was lucky. The way I came, the way I managed to settle down. Not everybody comes with those kind of things prepared. So finding myself a retail job, managing to balance
Yeah.
the life as it were
Yeah.
between the kids being in school and me working part-time. Yeah, but then I will not lie, I missed home a lot. I missed home a lot. In the first year, I came back to Kenya 3 times.
What? Okay, you found the milk and honey, first of all. If you could afford to go home 3 times a year, you already found the milk and honey where you landed.
But
So,
but those were the times when tickets were not that expensive.
okay.
Tickets were
Yeah.
not that
Yeah.
expensive, and one of the times I came back, actually twice were for one was for my sister's wedding, and another one was for a very close friend's wedding.
Okay.
So yeah, those were already things that were on the calendar and we had planned. But
Mm.
I really, really missed home. And there are days that I would wake up and think to myself, just one day, can I just one day wake up and I will say, Lucy, one day when she sees this,
Yes.
she will know. I will say, I see if I could only have Lucy for one day,
Yeah.
I would really appreciate it. Those are the
Yeah.
things that we kind of like don't think
Yeah.
about when moving.
Yes.
And then you get here and you find you literally have to do everything, every single thing by yourself.
You've touched on like something very important. When you're transitioning, you have all these dreams. And as a woman, like you have all these dreams, you have all these ambitions, and then you land, and then there's the reality of there is childcare and there's housework and there's all this. How do you like just talk to someone who's trying to navigate that area and finding themselves they're ambitious, they have all these dreams in this land, but then they are also struggling with childcare. They're feeling like they have to let go of so many things. It's like it sets you back a little bit. How do you balance that tension within yourself to be like there's a time for everything, or how do you
Exactly.
transition that season?
The first thing I would say is be kind to yourself. I can say this with hindsight. I can honestly say this with hindsight. Be kind to yourself. Um, Rome wasn't built in a day.
Yeah.
Rome wasn't built in a day. And again, there is a time for everything. And it took a while to tell myself that, okay, so what are my priorities? What are the important things that I really need to get right without losing what is important, first and foremost, my family, my kids. Because I could, and I'm not saying it negatively to anybody who's deciding to take that path. I could have decided to chase the career and
Yeah.
at the same time see how to balance the work life balance. But for me personally, it wasn't something that was really working per se. So I had to decide to balance it. What was important for me? What did I feel like if I let this thing go, my life will be a little bit easier. I will be able to cope with all the stress,
Yeah.
the stress
Yeah.
of here I am running a home without all the help that I've been used to. Considering I had my 2 boys in Kenya, so I had help. I had family, I had everything. Suddenly I'm here and there's 2 of us with 2 kids and a house to run and everything else, everything from thinking about what has to be eaten to making sure people eat the thing that you thought people need to eat, as
And
opposed
cleaning
to
up after.
exactly, and cleaning up after, and making
Yeah.
sure people have the clothes to literally. You know, there's a saying about the unconscious tasks women have. There's things you see getting done that
Yeah.
are done, and then there's the things that we have in the back of our heads of what needs to happen to get this thing done. So I would just say be kind to yourself. Take it one day at a time. Yeah, just pace yourself. Pace yourself. It doesn't have to happen all at once. It takes time. Whichever path you take, there's never a wrong one. You could always circle back and start again, try again. Life is about trial and error.
That's true.
There's nothing like failure. It's all about lessons learned.
That's very true. You know, you mentioned you used to miss your Lucy. I used to miss my Miriam. I still do. Up to now, I just sit and I'm like, if I could just get her for 1 week. Anyway, it sounds like you had to reinvent yourself in some way when you moved here. In what ways did you have to reinvent yourself, either at the family front, at work, socially, for you to sort of settle into life in the UK?
Um, on the family front, I've always been a homely person, so that one was not really hard. I've always been that person who just wants to know that my home is running as I need it to run. So that one wasn't hard. I think it was more the work front. In Kenya, I worked for the sake of working
Mm-hmm.
because I wanted to do something,
Yeah.
not because I needed to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But then you come here and you find that for a while, I needed to do it. Work was, what do you call it? A necessity.
Yeah.
Work was a necessity. And not just for the money, for the social aspects. Because
Uh-huh.
this can be a very lonely place. It can be a very lonely place, especially when you first come, when you're finding your feet and you don't have friends and you don't have a community. The first community that most people have is in the workplace. Otherwise, and there's this funny thing we laugh about here when you find old people in the supermarket talking to the checkout person for half an hour. It's because that is the person they have found in that day to talk to have some communication with, to have a social interaction with. So work was the place where I found my first community, where I found people to talk to every day, where you look forward to, oh, it's not about housework.
Yeah. It's
It's
not
not about,
about cocomelon and
yeah. And at that time it was Balamori. It's not about Balamori.
ah okay.
So building a community from that, you then get the friends, and then there was then with time maybe you find a church or you find a friend who will lead you to meet other people, and slowly you start growing what we call your little village
Mhm.
of people from everywhere, because you've come to a land where people come from everywhere,
Yeah.
and you cannot be picky. At that particular point in time, you cannot be picky. You just want some kind of social interaction that is different, that is going to kind of like guide you in this place, for people who've been here longer or for people who are brought up here, who can point you in different directions while you try and find your feet and find your way. So yeah,
Yeah.
that was,
I think you mentioned something very important. One, the role of work, not just for income, but for socializing. And then you said you meet people from everywhere. I've learned that when you move abroad, you have to have an open mind and an open heart. You have to really live beyond your culture, the things you've been trained, and the cultural things that have been instilled in you. Sometimes you just have to put them aside and open yourself up to different kinds of people, and you'll be surprised what kind of community you can build from the people you never thought you would.
yeah, which is very true, because
Yeah.
like my sons for a long time, their cousins were not Kenyans. This is my
Yeah.
cousin. Are you from Kenya? No, I'm not from Kenya, but yes, we're cousins because our mothers are now so close. We behave like
Oh
sisters.
yeah.
And yeah,
Yeah.
it's that community that you build for yourself.
Mhm.
You open up, like Karen says, you open up yourself to new experiences, new people, uh, people who have come maybe under the same circumstances as you, and some you might be at the same level, some might be a little bit have been there a bit
Mhm.
longer, and some who
Mhm.
are even newer than you. So
Yes. Yeah.
it's, yeah.
That's true. That's true. So how you said you used to miss home? Do you still miss home at that level? And has the definition of home changed for you? Do you feel like this is more home than Kenya, or do you still feel like Kenya is home? Where is home at this point? Where is home? 20 years later, where is home?
20 years later, home is where home can be anywhere. This
Mm-hmm.
this is home. There's a part of me that this is home, and there's a part of me that Kenya will always be home. But I will go back to something else, where the reason why sometimes after staying somewhere for so long,
Mm-hmm.
home kind of changes its definition is I keep in touch with my friends, with some of the friends we grew up with, former classmates and everything. And one thing I realized was that we've outgrown each other in different ways.
Yeah,
We've
that's
outgrown
also
each other
true.
in different ways. I cannot go back to Kenya and find my foot at the same place where my peers are right now. I'm in a totally different place. Not for lack of trying, but for the different demographics we are living.
It would be like starting over again.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
So home, this becomes home because this is the place where I'm now like comfortable, where I know my place, where I have kind of like carved myself in the rock, like this is the
Yeah.
shape that I have taken. Whereas Kenya will always be home because that is where I grew up, that is where my family is, that is where my heart is, that is where I will go home and I will go and I'll sit and think I'm not doing anything and
Yeah.
everything will be
Yeah.
done.
Yeah.
Mm. So
Yeah.
home has different definitions where I'm concerned. There's the home that is Kenya, where my heart is, where my family is, where I hope to retire.
Yes.
And then there's this home where I am right now. I am living it. I am breathing it. I am carving myself in it, making a life out of it.
Yeah. Okay. So, do you we talk a lot about success abroad, and I think you've touched on it a bit. What is your definition of success now? What would you say compared to when you're coming and having stayed here and built a life? How would you define success living abroad to be? I ask that because I feel like sometimes we come here and people are really grappling with how do I make it? How do I make money? How do I still invest back home? How do I invest? Like, what would you say success is now?
After all these years, my definition of success might be very different to a lot of people. Very, very different. And for me, yes, there's money. There's the making money. Yes,
Yeah.
it can be termed as success. There's the making investments. It can be termed as success. But when I really sit down and think about it, survival, survival.
Wow.
You came to a strange place with
Wow.
absolutely nobody. Well, you can call yourselves two people or three people
Yeah.
to back each other up,
Yeah.
and you made it.
Yeah.
You made it. You survived. You've done something. It does not have to be anything big. But when you look at yourself and think, I'm working, I'm eating, I have managed to grow human beings,
Yes.
and they have grown up
Yeah.
in whatever form, wherever they are. Or success for me can just be the simple fact of surviving and thriving in whichever way it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
Thriving in whichever way it is. Because yeah, there's some people who come here thinking it's money I want to make.
Yeah.
I want to make money, and
Yeah.
if I don't make money, I have not made it. But sometimes making money is not the making it. It's the living, the thriving, the impact you make. The impact you make, because there's sometimes the people you come across, what do you give out there as you're living? What crumbs are you leaving for people to follow behind? That's, for me, that's success. If for instance I have impacted a few people's lives,
And I'm sure
in
I
a
know there are not
positive way,
few. There are many.
in a positive way, then I would say I've been very successful. I
Yeah.
have been blessed. I have to
Yeah.
say I've been blessed with
Yeah.
my 4 kids.
Wow.
I've been a busy mom for so many years, and yeah, when you look at me, and we go back to to defining success. Somebody will say, "Oh, they have a PhD. Yes, they have this. I have just at this, with all this gray hair, just done my masters. But still, for
Wow.
me,
Yeah.
it's a small success in my bucket of successes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
success isn't one thing. It's many different things that have enabled you to live, to thrive, and to be the person you are or are hoping to be.
I love what you said. Survival and impact. Honestly, because when you move to a different country, it's a very difficult thing. I don't think people appreciate that as much. And just being able to make a life I love it. I love it. And impact. So those two things, I that resonates. I love it.
Great.
And then I will ask one final question. If you could go back and talk to the younger Judy, who is just moving abroad, what would you tell her?
If I could go back and talk to the younger Judy, who is just moving abroad, before or after she moves abroad?
Either you could talk about whether just before she moves or after she's moved. The younger you,
The younger me,
what would you wish she
I
knew?
will still say the same thing I said from the beginning. Be kind to yourself. Be very kind to yourself. The race is not to the swift. Be kind to yourself. You're not racing anybody. You're living a life. You're living a life. So I will tell Judy, don't worry. It will work out one way or another. It will work out. Everything will be fine. Be ready. Brace yourself. Brace. Because the bumps are there.
Yeah.
Whether we like it or not, there are bumps.
Yeah.
But if you brace, you can be a bit kinder to yourself and not blame yourself for everything and anything that might go wrong, because things do go wrong. It is life. Things do go wrong. So yeah, I will just tell myself, Judy, be kinder to yourself, brace, and yeah, I've always been a person who makes friends, so I cannot tell myself make any more friends. Seriously, I collect them everywhere. So, so yeah, I think that is it. That is it.
That's
yeah.
amazing. So be kind to yourself. I say extend grace to yourself. So
Exactly.
if you're in that, you're just wondering, what is this I've brought myself into? Extend grace to yourself. Be kind to yourself. It works out. And yeah, you'll be here many years later saying, yeah, I did that. I liked what you said to me the other day, that we'll look back when you're struggling with school run and you're struggling with all these things, and then you'll be like, you know what? I did that.
Exactly.
So we'll get there and you'll be like, I did that.
Yeah.
So yeah. Thank you so much. Thank
You're
you for
very, very welcome.
coming to A Broad Perspective. Guys, let me know if you have any questions for Judy. Let me know what else you want us to talk about. Thank you for watching, and until the next video.